Welcome back everybody, it's Meg, and if you want to learn how to isolate chrome, create 3D bangles and do aura style nails, then this is the one for you. So first of all, you want to take a serious black. This is just because this is the shade that I'm using for the base of my nail, but obviously you can pick any colour that you love. So I'm going to pop a layer of this on, and then I'm going to cure it for 60 seconds before we move on to a second layer, and then I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, so I'm just popping that second coat on now. Is it just me, or does anyone else love applying black gel? There is something so satisfying about it. I can't even put my finger on it. And you know, my problem, it's like, this is my, what do they call it? Toxic trait, is applying black gel too thick when I'm doing these designs, because I get so freaking excited. I'm like, oh, it looks so shiny, I'm gonna add more, and then it wrinkles, and then I go, God, whoops, sorry, my bad. I've got to do it all again. I'm trying to withdraw from that in the future videos. I'm trying my best to not apply too thick. Anyway, moving on. I have used a mixture of Snow White and Trench Coat here to use my airbrush for the aura of this nail. I thought this looked absolutely gorgeous. You'll see in a minute when I put the matte on, it looks amazing. I think just a full set of that would look gorgeous as like a Gothic style nail. I do wear the correct PPE for this. I know there's a lot of controversy and a lot of people don't like using the airbrush machines, and I know in general they shouldn't be used, but for me, when I'm working on my own, it's easier and quicker than a sponge, but you can easily do the same thing with sponges. So moving on here, I am just popping a matte top coat all over that nail, and then I'm going to go in with my serious black. So this is where we begin our isolated chrome section. So you want to use the longest brush that you've got in your nail art drawer, and then I'm just going to start by drawing a line in a slight angle down the center of the nail, and then I'm going to draw it off into like an upside down Y. And you just want to make sure that you start with a little bit of a thick center, and you can do any pattern that you want. This one I find always looks quite good, so I would say like it's an upside down Y kind of style. But I'm really bad at explaining stuff, but I'm trying my best to explain here that you want to start with your top line and then work your way off on a branch like I did here with the right hand side. Keep it as thin as you can on the center of each of your lines, and then as you get to the end of your line on the edge of the nail like I'm doing here, you want to widen it, and obviously going in opposite directions, so you're creating that curve as you can see here, and then on the top of that I will obviously go in the opposite way so that it has that rounded effect. That's the best way I can do this design and the isolated chrome. I know a lot of people say, how do you get that shape, how do you start that? And I would say, yeah, always start with your top line and then stop where you want that centerpiece of it to be, which is what I've done, and then branch off one side, and then you can kind of see where you're going then, and then you can finish off the top section and then branch off to your left side. Obviously you could do like 4 branches, 5 branches, 3. Here I just did the 3. You're going to see me now work out where I want this one to end, and you don't really want them to look too symmetrical. You do want this one to maybe be a little bit shorter, and then I'm just figuring out here how much I want in the center. Again, you want to keep it reasonably thin. It kind of looks like the Eiffel Tower there or an A, I don't really know, but yeah, you can see I've thickened it out on the edge, and then I've kept it thin towards the center. That's kind of the key for this type of design, I've found, and using a really long nail art brush really helps. Once you're happy with where you've put your lines, and you could just leave it like that, it looks incredible like that. I would definitely wear a set. Again, you can use any colours that you wanted to, but today my base was sort of black and whites. And then I've taken our cat eye chrome powder here, and it's kind of like an oil spill effect. It's a little bit purpley greeny, really pretty. And once I cured the black, I'm just going in now and rubbing that chrome into it. You'll start to see in a second the pigment coming through. These cat eye chrome powders are gorgeous because you get the cat eye effect, but without having to do like the cat eye bit, if you get my drift. So you can obviously move the nail around and you get the 2-3 tone effect out of them. Really, really pretty. All I can see right now is Eiffel Tower. Now that I've said it, I'm just like, it's the Eiffel Tower. I can't get that out of my head. That's really annoying. Does anyone else see the Eiffel Tower when they see this? Abstract. It's giving abstract. Anyway, I've cleaned off the sides here, and then we're going to use our nail tip gel adhesive, our new sculpting gel. I am absolutely freaking obsessed with this. It's one of my favorite things to use now. I use it all the time. So I'm just creating a little blob there on top, and I'm just going to wipe away the bit that I want, just making sure that it's not sticky. I've found that as long as your hands are reasonably cool and you've got really clean gloves on, it isn't too sticky. Obviously, the more you faff with it and the more you play with it and your hands start to warm up and the product starts to warm up, it does then get a little bit sticky, but usually it's fine. So you just want to roll yourself out the thickness that you want. Place it down on the nail. Here you can see one side started to fiddle with it. It got a little bit sticky, but that's fine. And then I've gone in with my silicone tool here, and this works really well with our product. It doesn't stick to it. It's fabulous. You can use a slip residue with it also if you want to. That does help it not stick to your fingers. But I'm just rolling out here a second one now, and then popping that down with a little bit of a struggle. But we're making it, we're doing it, we're making it work. I had a slight moment of panic here, but it's fine. This product is really easy to play with and move about and, you know, experiment with, so it's not a big deal. So this is how you would then create your bangle nails. I have created a set recently where I created like a watch on a client's nail, and she was absolutely obsessed with it. I was as well. It's just such a genius product, this 3D sculpting gel. Like, this has changed the game definitely this year for nail techs, nail artists. To be able to create 3D work and 3D art on top of a nail is so exciting, and yeah, definitely the way forward from now on. So I just thought that this would really finish off this sort of abstract, strange, sci-fi kind of gothic nail, to have the chrome bangles at the bottom of it. I would definitely wear this. Make sure you leave in the comment section below if you would wear this sort of nail, and if you'd want to see me do something similar, again in a different colour. Guys, I'm actually like, I'm pissing myself here right now. So I have found that when I'm voiceovering, I get this lisp. Like, my mouth gets really wet when I'm talking. And I said it to my partner the other day, and he was like, Megan, why have you got a lisp? And I was like, it's because I'm like talking, I'm getting excited and my mouth's dribbling. And I can't stop it now. So I have to be really aware of it. So if I sound a bit strange in some of my videos, it's because that's what happens when I do voiceovers. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you anyway. I'm just popping a third bangle on here now. I then go ahead and cure that. I do flash cure these in between as well while I'm doing them, just to make sure that they don't move around. And then you want to just cure for 60 to 90 seconds, and then it should be fine. And then I'm going over with exactly the same chrome powder, and then basically we're done. All I do after this is top coat everything, and you'll see the final result is really cool. Obviously, if you want to get your hands on these cat eye chrome powders, they're definitely good and worth to have in your drawer if you're a nail tech, you're working under time crunches, you know, you're like under pressure, but you still really want an effective chrome effect. Then obviously these are definitely worth having in your drawer, so make sure to check out the website because they are there. There's a few different colours. I tend to use them quite a lot now just because it saves that, you know, 2-3 extra steps of having to do cat eye for me anyway, because usually when people want cat eye they have chrome as well, so this kind of works in both ways. You can see here how pretty it looks, that purpley pinky sort of, I guess, that shading on the side. You can see where I move it, it does change colour, it even looks a little bit yellow there. And yeah, just going over with our lovely glossy top coat, and that is it. I really hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Obviously make sure to give us a thumbs up and a subscribe if you haven't already. If you are a subscriber, then thank you for joining us again, and thank you for supporting the channel. And I will be back again soon with another cool design. If you have got any requests or anything like that, then make sure to leave them in the comment box. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.